Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sari and this is day 20 of the Simplify Your Life challenge for 2022. This challenge was inspired by an ebook by YouTuber Muchelleb. I will link her channel and the ebook in the bar down below. There's a playlist where you can follow along with this whole series from the beginning. I will link that on the screen. And with that, let's get into day 20. Figure out what lights you up. Today, we're diving into the hard stuff. The declutter was just a warm-up to clear out our spaces and clear our minds to do the real work of this challenge, which is eliminating mental clutter and figuring out what brings us joy and happiness and best serves us mentally and emotionally. We're now going to shift into finding our focus, freeing up our time by spending more of it on things that we enjoy, spending more of our life saying yes to what we want and no to what we don't want, and making real steps to living a happier life on levels deeper than just the material. This is about figuring out who and where we want to be and making space for the things that will get us there. To get us started, I wanted to share a quote from the ebook. Clutter is not just physical stuff. It's old ideas, toxic relationships, and bad habits. Clutter is anything that does not support your better self. Here is where our journey begins towards finding that better self. Let's go. The plan for today is to create something that Muchelleb calls your moments of light list. These are all the little things you do or things that happen to you during the day that bring joy to your life. They can be big, obvious things, but more often they're little individual moments. They're small. We often take them for granted, especially amidst the hectic bustle of our days. These are the things we can use to make our days brighter, to help ourselves when we need a healthy coping mechanism to turn to make sure that our life isn't slowly and constantly draining all the joy out of our souls. All of that can be very hard. This big negativity and the constant hectic scramble to get all the things done, those soul-sucking hours and days and weeks and months and years, it can feel insurmountable to get yourself out of that. I know that there are many days in my life that are taken up by work I don't want to do. And that includes the stuff that pays the bills, but also housework and adult stuff and things I have chosen to do with my time. Even doing the decluttering for these challenges, something I know I needed to do. I said I wanted to do this and I needed to do it because I needed to get control of this space. There were many days that I didn't want to do those things. Going through all of the digital photos and all of my emails and copying the media to Plex, I don't want to do that. It doesn't bring me joy. It's obnoxious and I hate it. And that's why I haven't done it before. But I had to do it because it needed to get done. And it wasn't serving me to have all of that continue to sit there. So I had to make a choice to put in that work, even though that was draining me and I didn't want to be there. Sometimes even making the video feels that way. It feels that way right now. It is one of the nicest days we have had yet this year. It is 21 degrees Celsius outside. I'm sitting in a room surrounded by windows, and we're in a brief period between intense thunderstorms where it is not raining and the sidewalk outside looks dry. And I don't want to be in this room. I want to be out there. But I need to make the video, because if I don't make the video, then there won't be a video for you to watch the week that this goes live, because I have commitments the next 4 weekends in a row. So I have to get all of these videos done, and I have to get ready for all of those commitments. My to-do list is very long. I don't want to do any of it. I want to be outside where it's nice. I don't want to be here right now making this video, but I have chosen to do that because I made a commitment to you and I made a commitment to me to do that. It's not bringing me joy. Just gonna put that out there. I've been fighting a migraine all week. I have so much to do. It's nice outside. I just don't care right now. I have to edit the video for next week after I'm done with this, or tomorrow, which is even more things I don't have time for and will keep me away from being outside where it's nice. Although tomorrow it'll be cold, so maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But point is, like, I want you to understand that it takes me, let's say, a half-hour video. It's 45 minutes of filming plus setup. This is not counting all of the actual decluttering I have to do. So there's the prep work, the notes that I'm taking, the creating the guiding questions, the actual declutter. We're not even counting that in the time. That's just stuff I'm doing for me, and then I'm making a video about it. For a half-hour video, it takes me 45 minutes to an hour to film all of that. It takes me about twice as long per minute of videos to edit it. So let's say it takes me 45 minutes to record said video. I then have that 45 minutes, then another hour and a half to edit it. Then I have to do the captions, which is like 3 times the amount of time. So that's another hour and a half. That's how long one video takes me. It's a not insignificant time investment in my day because I have a full-time job. And now I have all of these other things I need to do. So this is very stressful. I'm not telling you this to complain because no one's paying me for this. I don't have to be here. I don't have to do any of this. I've made a choice. No, like, I don't get paid to be on YouTube. Although, if you want to, there's always a link in my info to a little place where you can toss some money my way for doing this. You don't have to, though. I'm doing it because mostly I want to be doing it, except I never want to do video captions. I hate doing video captions. They suck. I don't like it. It's awful, and it's not how I want to be spending my time. But it's the right thing to do, so I do it. It is part of the commitment I have undertaken by saying, by creating content, I acknowledge that I have to take this time or spend money to get this done so that everyone can access my content. That's part of being a content creator, and it's the socially responsible thing to do, and I have agreed to that time commitment by sitting here right now. So my next month is taken up by things every weekend, and we're heading into summer where it's nice out, and I want to be outside. And I told myself when I started this series that I was going to prioritize this content so that I got it all done while it was not nice outside. And I made all the videos and then they were just there waiting to be uploaded. Yeah, I didn't do that because the decluttering, it turns out, takes a really long time. So I made a commitment to myself and to all of you watching that I would be here, I would do this series, I would finish the whole thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm treating it like a job, even though I'm not getting paid for it, because it's a commitment that I made and I want to honor that. But it's stressful. Some days it's not. Some days it brings me joy. Some days I really like sitting here in front of a camera talking to no one. My empty room. But today's not one of those days. I'm just going to be honest about that. We all have those days. And the point is that all of our lives are mostly taken up by a bunch of stuff we don't want to do. And it's important for us to identify little things in our lives that we do want to do, that make us happy, that bring joy and healing and relaxation and just like recharge energy back into us, even if it's like this much in a whole day that was like this much terrible. Here's the thing though, most of us are terrible at knowing and identifying what lights us up, these moments. We're really bad at identifying them because it's so easy to fixate on all of those things that you don't want to do, everything that's causing you stress or anxiety, all of the things that don't make you happy, all of that nonsense and stress and horribleness in your day. You fixate on that to the point that it's really hard to pick up these little moments where it wasn't bad. They're all interspersed throughout your day. You these little bits of 5 minutes where you felt joy or contentment or peace or connection or inspiration or whatever you felt. It's really easy to dismiss those as insignificant because they seem so small compared to the big, overwhelming stuff. And they are. They are small, but they are important. The theory here is that creating a moments of light list really helps you create connections and make space in your life for yourself to get clear on what brings you joy and what is good for your soul and what does serve you and what you want to do. This list might feel impossible to write. It felt that way to me, staring at this blank page, like, what brings me joy in life? Absolutely nothing, because we talked about I'm in a terrible headspace for this right now. But thankfully, the ebook provides us with a series of prompts to get us started. I found them really helpful. This is hard work, though. You have to dig. You have to really think. You have to put in the work. And I promise you, no matter how terrible it feels, every single one of us can find one thing. So, first, it's important when we're doing this to look at the details, the little details, the what, the who, the where, the when, and the why, to pinpoint what exactly made you happy in a given moment. Be really specific. There's an example in the ebook that says, write down going to tiny coffee shops with live music by myself and getting a vanilla latte, as opposed to going to coffee shops. Because that's so broad. Like, does every single time you go to the coffee shop, does that bring you a moment of joy? I don't know. Maybe it does. That's cool. But I think the more specific you can get with this, the more it helps you focus on truly, what about this makes me happy? Is it universal or is it this detail? So here are the prompts from the ebook. I'm going to read them to you. 1. When was the last time you felt fully present and in the moment? What were you doing? 2. What small amounts of time in the past have contributed disproportionate amounts of happiness? 3. When was the last time you were radically pulled out of a bad mood? What did you do? 4. What physical activities set your soul on fire? 5. What do you do that fuels your mind and makes you feel alive? 6. When was the last time you gave yourself a mental high five for being so great? What were you doing? Start now, using those prompts, and write down every single thing you can think of. I promise you there is something here. I promise. I know it's really easy to say, I've never given myself a high five for being great because I'm never great. Let's not focus on the negativity if we can help it. I do that too. I was like, well, when you're mediocre at everything, you can't really celebrate your wins, can you? No, we're getting rid of that. We're eliminating that negativity from our thinking today. And we are just saying, no, there is something here that is good. There is something about our lives that is good. Some little thing. There is something about me as a person. There is something about you as a person that is good. And we're going to find it. This list might be long. It might have 2 things on it. Either way, that's great. It's a list. You have 2 things. You have 1 thing. Everybody has 1 thing. It can be a short list. That's okay. Find the 1 thing. Make sure that you keep this list somewhere safe, that you can access it, that you can look at it, that you can go back to it, that you can revisit it, and that you can add to it. That's key, because you want to reread this and remind yourself what these things are, but you also want to add to the list as they come up. So create a note in your phone or a document in your cloud space or somewhere, something you can easily access no matter where you are. And then as you're going about your life, pay attention and look for these moments. When you find yourself in a small moment or a big moment, whatever, of peace or happiness or contentment or relaxation or whatever positive emotion, write down specifically what you were doing and make note of how that made you feel. By doing this, you will start to be more aware of how you're feeling at any given moment. You'll be able to recognize when you are or you aren't happy. And that's really important. Be patient with yourself here, though. This is a journey, and it's a hard journey, but keep at it. Pay attention to these things, and the more time you spend sitting in these feelings, even though these feelings are weird and scary, the more you will find these little things and spaces in your life that you love, that make you happy. And the more you do it, the easier it will be to identify these things. And that will help us as we move through this journey of saying what serves me and what doesn't. And figuring out how to shift the balance away from 99% of my day doesn't serve me to like 90%, but 10% does. And that 10% is for me. It's slow, it's a journey, and it's hard. I acknowledge this. It was hard for me too. And as I said, the things you come up with, they might seem small and unimportant, but they're not. There's nothing you can put on this list that is too small or unimportant. Nothing. Nothing at all. Because it makes you happy. And that makes it important. So, let me know how you did. If you want to share some of these moments, that would be super fun. I think it would be cool if we just shared little things in the comments that were like, hey, this makes me feel happy. This is my moment of light. This is my thing. Whatever. I would love to hear them, and I'll try to share some of mine as well. I can tell you right now that one of them, even though it doesn't serve me, we'll deal with that balance later, but one of them is not using an alarm in the mornings, waking up by myself, and then laying in my bed and reading my email and easing into my day. It's not the best plan because, work, but it does make me feel happy. Watching shows on PBS Kids also makes me happy. Not all of them, but some of them. Have y'all seen Bluey, by the way? Not on PBS Kids, Disney Plus. Watch Bluey. Yeah, it's like little weird stuff like that. Trying to go for a walk outside after work, which I used to think I hated. I used to think, ugh, what a waste of time. Like, who walks with nowhere to go? Well, now that I spend all of my time stuck in my house without anywhere to go, I walk without anywhere to go. I used to have to walk a mile each way to get from my bus stop to my office. So like the days that I was working at home and I didn't have to do that seemed awesome. But now I'm like, can we go for a walk after work? Who knew I loved that? I didn't, but I do now. I don't know. It's all these little things and you have to find them. So share yours with me and let me know. Are you terrified of this phase of the challenge as well? Or are you like, no, I got this? I hope you've got this. I hope you feel good. You can help the rest of us through it. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see all of the rest of the videos in this series and beyond, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.